Hi, this is Paul Hoyt, CEO of Ascending Harvest, coming to you with my best buddy, business partner, personal friend, resident genius and inventor, Shane McKenna, delivering our daily progress update on the growth of Ascending Harvest. And we got some great progress to talk to you about today, which is day 3 of our crowdfunding campaign. But before we do that, I just want to give Shane an opportunity to say hello. Say hello, Shane.
Hello, everybody from Mama's Front Porch. So happy to be here today. Paul has been in town, and it's been absolutely wonderful to have Paul here in Utah instead of California. Eventually, I'm going to twist his arm hard enough that he's going to move out here.
Oh, yeah, I did kind of check in with the wife about that, and she was not, that terribly enthusiastic about the idea of moving to Salt Lake City. So
well,
if I come,
it'll grow on her. It'll grow on her.
When we turn this into be a 20, 30, 40, $50 million business, we'll have an apartment. I'll come out, every other week. We'll spend a few days together, and we'll let her live where she wants to live, and I'll do my best to stay living with her. Which is largely up to her, I believe. But anyway, it really has been great to be face-to-face with the team. We had a few meetings on Wednesday in preparation for the crowdfunding. We met a little bit yesterday. We had a nice big team meeting this morning with everybody there. And it really is nice to periodically connect with your team face-to-face. I mean, we can do a lot on video conferencing. We hope we're doing a lot to communicate our passion and our thoughts and our feelings about this marvelous project to you over video, but there's nothing like getting a hug or sitting next to somebody and singing a duet, which is what Aubrey and I did today, which was great. So,
true story. It was beautiful. Goosebumps and tears.
Well, and today we are excited to report some good progress with the crowdfunding campaign on day 3. We came real close to meeting that 20% goal last night. We're at 18% of funds, total funds raised, a little over $5,000 right now, which is really great progress. Everybody tells us that if you hit 20% within 48 hours of your goal, that your odds of success in completing your goal are greatly increased. And we have hit that, and we are very excited. The next step for us is to do personal outreach to everybody that's on our list, and we're going to talk about that here in just a second. But we're excited about entering this next phase of our crowdfunding campaign and just building up the momentum to continue to build the number of people who are on the team contributing to the project and continue to build this momentum. So as you see, our messaging is going to shift from we're almost ready to go live to now we're live to now we're building momentum, and this train has left the station, and it's time for you to jump on board and be part of this winning initiative. So we're very excited about that.
And if you see me look over, I just had a bee land on my finger, and, they don't eat much, but it distracted me for a second. So I'm okay. I'm okay. No, you don't have to call the paramedics. We're doing fine.
They don't
Everybody survived the interaction.
I'm glad. Maybe they mistook you for a flower.
I'm not that sweet.
I was thinking, that bee, God, that bee's got to be fairly desperate.
Oh, that's great.
As you can see, we have a lot of fun here with Ascending Harvest. Shane, you've got a little update on our patent work as well you want to share with the folks, right?
Yeah, so creating and filing and writing patents up is a very difficult challenge, along with the financial challenge of filing patents. Yesterday, we got confirmation that the last patent on our system has now officially been filed. So we can start to talk about the technology in a great deal of detail. And just if you're keeping track, this system, if we get all of our utility patents, we'll have 6 utility patents in the system. So when we say we have new technology, we mean we have a lot of new technology. That's a lot of patents to roll out all at once in a single system.
And we came up with a line in our team meeting this morning that you'll start to see in some of our marketing materials, and that is that even though our prototype, you just see two little unassuming white buckets, that there's a lot of really advanced technology in those buckets, especially the smaller bucket or the lower bucket. That is where Shane's genius in figuring out how to create a hydroponic system without electricity really comes into play. So we'll be exposing a little bit more of that over time and let you see some of that advanced technology. And of course, now that the patents have filed, if you're really a technology geek out there, an engineer, and you really want to know how this system works, it makes it pretty easy for you to reach out to Shane, and you can have those more detailed conversations. But let me assure you that inside that white container at that bottom, on the bottom, inside that little unassuming white bucket is a lot of very sophisticated advanced technology.
Yes, and I would add that the simpler something is to use, the harder the progress to get there. So those functions that all you have to do is to push a button to get everything working, those are the hardest things to get to. It's easy to create a system that's very complicated with lots of adjustments and dials and levers and switches and valves. That's easy, where you have to have a lot of user knowledge. But the less user knowledge required to make a system function, the more complicated that system becomes. The challenge for me was to take something that was already very complicated and figure out a way through passive mechanical systems, through very elegant design and engineering, to take those very, very complex processes and turn them into simple, efficient, and inexpensive processes to control and produce.
And he has done an exceptional job. I had the privilege of reading through the patent application yesterday, and I didn't make it all the way through. It's pretty darn sophisticated. It takes a lot of engineering knowledge, and I think experience in reviewing patents before you can appreciate the elegance of the technology that he has created. So I'm going to have to take that home with me and study it a little bit more, and so I can be at least conversational when it comes to the technology that's hidden inside that small bucket. I won't know why it's there, but I'll know that it's there.
Well, Paul, don't feel bad. Reading patents and reviewing patents is an art that takes a lot of time to develop.
Well, maybe I'll have enough time to do that, or maybe I'll just focus on my specialty.
That's right.
Which is leading people, organizing things, doing financial models and spreadsheets, writing plans, talking to investors, and doing, I think, from time to time, a little sales training. And that's what we're going to talk about today, is a little bit of sales training. So we want you to feel very, very comfortable reaching out to your communities and your networks and sharing the good news of the Ascending Harvest Project with your networks. As I've talked before on several different of these Zoomcasts, I believe, that's really important because, frankly, our networks don't overlap that much. Shane and I discovered that he knew 1,500 people that were in his immediate list, and I had a couple of thousand on my list, and the overlap was very small. It was only like 5% or so. So only 5% of the people that I knew and communicated with were the same people that Shane knew and communicated with. So that's the same between all of us. So all of you listening to this Zoomcast, you know people, thousands of people that we don't know and who will never hear about Ascending Harvest until you reach out and share it with them. And we want to talk to you today about being very, very comfortable in doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Paul, what you said earlier, you're going to focus on what you do. That's some good wisdom to pass on to people. If it's not your gift, it's not your job.
Yeah, we had a way of saying that in the CEO space community. Said if it's not your genius, it's not your job. Frankly, I always disagreed with that a little bit because when you're only one or two or three people at a company, sometimes you got to do it even if it's not your genius. But recognize that you're not doing it well, and recognize that it's really to your advantage to hire team members, to outsource to contractors, etc., as soon as you can, so that you can escape the mediocrity of your own contributions in that particular area and leverage the genius of other people. And speaking of it, go ahead, Shane.
I was going to say that's why we're so fortunate to have you, who is so gifted.
Well, thank you for that. And the feeling is mutual. We have a lot of great, gifted people on our team, and the team's coming together pretty well. Because we have so much talent on it. Abraham is very gifted on wordsmithing and copywriting and all things artistic. Aubrey is very gifted on marketing and website design. Shane's, a genius engineer, inventor, and I'm getting, with practice, I'm getting pretty good at organizing and leading things. So I want to talk to you a little bit about sales training. I have these conversations with CEOs all the time. One of the most common things that we find about CEOs and entrepreneurs is they jump into a business venture without having any sales experience. In fact, they might have some sort of reservation or hesitation about even talking to people about their particular product or service. And the key to being very comfortable about that, about being very enthusiastic about it, is really very simple. So for some people, it's not particularly easy, but it is very simple. And that is, you focus on the value that you're bringing other people. You're giving them an opportunity to do something that they want to do. You're providing a product that provides value to them. You're providing a service that provides value to them. You're providing an experience that provides value to them, that some way helps them have what they want to have, do what they want to do, or be the person that they want to be. And that is a real gift. Whether if you're selling somebody a car, you're giving them an opportunity to have quality, reliable transportation and feel good about themselves every time they get in that car. If you're selling somebody business consulting services, you're giving them an opportunity to make great progress in their business, in a very economical, timely way. If you're selling somebody your engineering services, your invention services, you're giving them a chance to create their dream, to take this dream and translate it from an idea into physical reality. So that's step number one whenever you talk to somebody about doing business with you in some way, is really focus on the value that you're giving them.
Yes, I agree. Absolutely. And if you focus on that first and initially, and you find that, the sooner you find that, the more easily you can communicate it.
So that's step number one, is just focusing on the value that you're bringing other people. And that's why, by the way, a good salesperson early in the conversation will get to know you a little bit, establish a little trust and rapport so that you feel comfortable opening up to them, so that you feel friendly, so that you trust them a little bit, and so that when they ask you, what do you want to accomplish? What do you want to achieve? That you can share with them so they'll know what it is that you value, so they can help you understand how doing business with them in some way brings you the value that you already want to have. So that is step number one, is understanding that you're bringing value to the people that you're talking to. Step number two, and this is just a two-step formula. Step number two is actually having that conversation in a way that's both lighthearted, enthusiastic, and cheerful. That you are able to invite somebody to be a part of the team, to explore the possibilities of moving forward faster in their business, to somehow get exactly what they want. Get them to imagine that in some way, and do that in a very cheerful, lighthearted, confident way. So that's step number two. So, and by the way, Shane's words are different than my words because we're different people. The way that he relates to people is a little bit different than the way that I relate to people. I'm in an enthusiastic, kind of a playful, come on, let's party, let's have fun together, be a part of our team, let's sing this song, let's do this dance, let's create this thing together. That's a little bit different energy than Shane brings to the table. And your energy is going to be different from that too. So the key is, number two, is finding a way to talk about the value that you bring to other people in a way that is really comfortable to you, that brings out your positive energy, that helps you step into your confidence, that the words that you really like, the words that really resonate with you, because that will establish the connection with them.
Yep, I agree.
So those two things. So here's what we want you to do. You know, I want to issue to each and every person who's watching this Zoomcast, hearing the recording, I want to issue a personal invitation for you to join our team. We really believe in Ascending Harvest. We're getting positive feedback from literally everybody that we talk to. And now that we're able to share some more details of the technology that's in those little unassuming white buckets, I think you're going to get even more and more people jumping on our team. This train has left the station. The crowdfunding campaign has launched. We're getting very close to 20% of the money that's raised. And we want you to have the opportunity, the good feeling that comes from knowing that you helped, that comes from knowing that you contributed in some way. You gave $1, $5, $10, $160, whatever that you felt comfortable contributing in terms of your dollars, but you also shared it with your network, that you helped us reach more people than we could have ever reached without your support in your particular network. So we strongly want you to do that. I want to give you the personal invitation to be part of our winning team, to play this game with us, so that when we succeed with crowdfunding, and more importantly, when we succeed in helping tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of families, you can look on that and say, I was a part of that. I helped them out in the early stages of that company, and I feel really good about myself because I was part of the Ascending Harvest team.
Yeah, and so I just want to issue something out there. We're looking for those benefactors. The beauty about our crowdfunding campaign is you can actually donate anything from $1 up. We actually have a category called Kick a Buck, I think. Isn't it called Kick a Buck?
That's it.
Yeah, it's the Kick a Buck buy-in. It's $1. Anybody can do $1. I mean, if you can afford to be watching this on your computer, your smartphone, you obviously have the resources for $1. And I'm not trying to twist your arm here, but it's an easy thing to do. And by the way, giving us $1 helps more than you know, because crowdfunding campaigns get notoriety not only from the amount they raise, but by the number of backers, so the number of people that come in. So we would be further ahead with 20 people coming on today and giving us $1 than if one person came on and gave us $20. And so we would encourage you, even if it's just $1, we'd love for you to give us more, obviously. But if it's just $1, that helps us out tremendously. The thing that helps us out more tremendously is to share it. So it gets in front of those eyeballs that we just don't have a connection to. And hey, by the way, if you've got a really rich aunt or uncle, yeah, give them a special call and say, hey, there's these guys and they've got this ambition to feed the world, and guess what? They've got a technology that could actually do it. Come take a look at this. So we'd invite you to invite them to look at Ascending Harvest, because we really do have a technology that is going to change farming. And I think when you go on our crowdfunding, either later today or tomorrow, you're going to get to see some quotes from some of the charities that we're working with. And I think you will be impressed that we're being validated by people who are on the ground in Africa, know what Africa needs, know what their community needs, and they're super excited about our technology because it has the opportunity to feed people who've never had the opportunity to grow their own food because they don't know how. We have got that system that takes people who don't know how to grow food into producing their own food. And what better way to give than to teach a man to fish? If you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. You teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. And we have that system that it's almost as simple as pushing that one button and it does everything. Our users have to do 3 things, but it's only 3 things, and that's never been done before, ever, not in the history of the world. So come check us out. We're going to feed the world.
I love it. Well said. We're gonna do our daily Zoomcast prize drawing here in just a second. I'm going to review real quickly what we talked about today. We talked about the great progress that we're having here on day 3 of the crowdfunding campaign. We've hit that 20% mark, and we got really great news from the patent attorneys that our provisional patents have been filed. And we talked about being really comfortable reaching out to your network, sharing the news of the Ascending Harvest Project with them, and inviting them to be a part of the team. And I'll issue this, that if any of you want any personal coaching on what to say or how to say it, reach out to me. I'm easy to find. paul@ascendingharvest.com. Send me an email. A lot of you already know me anyway. I'm happy to spend a few minutes with you, helping you come up with the message, the way that you can talk to your community that just feels perfect to you, that energizes you, that helps you shift your energy upward, because we want you to communicate that energy to other people. And one of the ways we communicate that energy is by giving away one of these human-powered hydroponic systems at the end of every one of these Zoomcasts. The way we do that is Shane gives me a number between 1 and 10,000. I plug it into my little list, and we come up with the winner. Shane, what's the number between 1 and 10,000 today?
Okay, I'm going to push generate here, and it's 350. 350.
That's going to be pretty easy to figure out who that is. 350. Boy, it was close, but the person who won it is Tanya Remillard. Tonya, congratulations. You are the winner of a human-powered hydroponic system today. We will send one to you whenever we hit mass volume in manufacturing. We expect to be towards the end of Q1 2019, or you can elect at that point in time to donate a system in your name to a family in need in a developing country or a refugees camp. So congratulations, Tonya Remillard. I'm going to send you an email with the details here pretty darn quick. Thank you all for attending today. We appreciate you listening in. We appreciate all your support. We want to have a relentless and passionate pursuit of 1,000 backers. We've only got like 40 or 50 backers right now. We want to get to 1,000 backers as soon as possible. So please, contribute $1 or $2 or $5, whatever you feel like contributing, and share with your network and help us get to 1,000 backers of the crowdfunding project just as soon as possible. Shane, I'm going to let you take us out and say goodbye.
I'm so excited that Tanya won that system, because Tanya is super excited about our technology, and she's excited for it in a unique way. She is a science and technology teacher, and she is working with the state to develop science and technology education, and she's excited about the things in science and technology that our system can teach her students and the curriculum that can be built around it, because there is so much technology and science going on in our system. So Tanya, guess what? I had already promised you one, but you just won one. So you let me know if you just want that one or if you want two. And we'll get that in your classroom, and you can have one on your porch, or you could donate the other one. Thank you so much for your enthusiasm and coming to our launch and lending your and donating the BMW. That was so awesome of you. Thank you so much. That's an inside joke, folks. Hey, have yourself an awesome day. Get crowdfunding, Indiegogo. Just search Ascending Harvest on Indiegogo. You will find us, and back us and share us, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll see you. Bye.
Bye.